Hello, my name is Faith. I'm here today to let you know that God is always speaking to us. This is something that's been dear to my heart since I was about 15 years old, something I've been researching and trying to practice and study. Like, if you are talking to us, God, what is your voice? What are you saying? That kind of thing. So, for many years, I thought it was the thoughts that were in our head, like we've got these kinds of, and maybe some of them are from the enemy, and some of them are from God, and some of them are for us. And I found out that's actually not it. It's actually, He's in our heart. When we ask Him to come in, this is the connection that we have with God, is in our heart. And this is where we hear His voice. So, evidence of this, I can use a story when it comes to my oldest son, who is now 18. When he was 3, I had a situation with him where I was at my wit's end. He was one of those kids that's always throwing these big fits in school, and in the grocery store, and at home, and just everywhere. And I was just at my wit's end, and everything that I knew, the only thing I knew to do was to try spanking him. That's how my parents did me. That's all I need is, okay, this child needs a spanking. Oh, that didn't work? Okay, well, let's spank him again and again and again. And it didn't work, and it didn't work. And he was like, is that all you have? Like, I don't care about pain. I don't care about spankings. Come on. And so his behavior just got worse and worse and worse. And I would just come home from a grocery store with him and his 2 younger sisters and just be just totally wiped out, totally feeling defeated, completely embarrassed because he's throwing these big fits at the store, thinking I never want to go leave the house again with this child. That was often what I felt after coming home with him. And I just sat down, I cried out to God, and I was like, God, I don't know what to do. Nothing that I'm doing is working with him. I'm at my wit's end. I feel hopeless. I feel like a failure. And all of a sudden, this peace came over me. And I felt like God was telling me, just pay attention. I want you to pay attention to your son. Watch him. And for like the next half a day or so, I started watching him, and I started realizing that there was a pain in his heart, that he had felt rejected. Obviously, he was really young when his little sister was born. He was used to being the baby, getting all the attention. She was born, then he may have felt rejected or competition. Then from there, that might have started some bad stuff. But as time went on, people started feeling like, oh man, this kid is bad. And people would say stuff like, oh, you're going to come over? Well, I hope you don't have to bring Caleb. Caleb, he's just such a handful. Please don't bring Caleb. He felt this rejection. Like, oh man, we got to bring Caleb. He felt it. He felt hurt. There was a pain inside. And that pain needed to be healed. And from observing that, I just knew, from my knower in my heart, I just knew I was supposed to pour my love into him. And so as I started pouring my love into him, showing him all this attention, I also knew to ignore the bad behavior and reward the good behavior. Within less than 24 hours of my prayer, Lord, what do I do? Boom. His personality, his fits, all those things completely changed. He was a different child. He started to get, he totally was a different child. Like, no more fits, all that kind of stuff. And I know that's hard for you old school people to believe that it wasn't a spanking that he needed. But I'm so glad that I took the time to try to hear God, to listen to God, because that was the answer. It worked. Also, as my 15-year-old daughter, I saw some inappropriate messages years ago on Instagram. And as I'm looking at the stuff, I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, please, what do I say? What do I say? What do I do? I had no idea she was going through this stuff, and He gave me the perfect words to tell my daughter, and she, after her and I sat down and talked, she was a completely different person. She had always had the love for God, but it was like these attacks that the enemy was trying to put on her were broken, and she knew that she just got the answer she needed, and I got the answer I needed. Now, if I would have just resorted to, oh, well, this is what we do as a parent, we just go ahead and discipline them, instead of asking God and listening, that those situations would have been completely different. So in everything that we do, we should always, especially raising our kids, asking God, and this can be a huge evidence that He speaks to us. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.